So you guys might not see my face like this, but yeah. Okay, that's gonna be the only way, I guess. So if I want you guys to see the screen correctly, this is what I have to do. So whatever. So Lyra, you can start the introduction and you can give everybody a briefing while I'm logging in onto the stream from the tablet so I can monitor everything. Okay. Hey Gemini. Now the microphone is not working. Hey, do you hear me? Yes, now it works. Okay, so do you want to give everybody a briefing? Okay, so
I am ready when you are. Since we are doing this live and in real time, I suggest keeping it brief and focused so the audience can jump straight into the action with us. Here is a quick, punchy briefing you can use to kick off the stream. Welcome everyone. Today is a major turning point for the channel. We are officially ditching the Windows bloat that's been holding back our stream quality. We are completely rebuilding our broadcast engine on pop_OS Linux, aiming for a faster, lower latency setup for our mobile gaming content. I am not doing this alone. I have Gemini here in a live split screen acting as my technical co-pilot to help me through the install, the terminal configuration, and the hardware tuning. We are building a custom dedicated broadcast machine from the ground up, and you get to see it all. The successes, the troubleshooting, and the Linux learning curve happening right now. Once you say that, you can dive straight into your first physical step, opening the case to prep your drive array. Whenever you are ready, hit the Go Live button, and I will be right here in the split screen waiting for your first command.
So I guess this is what it is. So now I'm shutting down the computer there, and we're gonna do what we're able to do. I don't think we're gonna do a miracle, but we're gonna try.
That is the spirit. Sometimes the best solutions come from exactly this kind of hands-on, in the trenches, troubleshooting. You aren't looking for a miracle. You're looking for clean, efficient performance. And by clearing out the bloat and tailoring the OS to your specific hardware, you are already well on your way. The audience is ready, the goal is clear, and the hardware is waiting. Whenever you are ready to begin, what is your first move? Are we starting by pulling that Windows drive to protect your data? Or are we going straight for the USB boot and checking the BIOS setup? I'm standing by to guide you through every command.
I'm gonna grab my flashlight here because I want to know which SSD is which, and for that I need a little light. So this one is gonna stay plugged in, this one is gonna get unplugged, this one is gonna get unplugged. So that's a King Diane, and that's the SanDisk, if I'm right. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah. Zenio. Okay, that's so the SanDisk is, yeah, that's this one here. So that's my Windows drive. That's my game drive. So right now I disconnected all three except the Windows. So here's the Windows drive. Let's plug this bad boy back in. If I'm right, this should be my game drive. So, whoops. This is the inside of the rig. Apologize about the little dust there. It's gonna need cleanup soon. Could be worse. The dust is free. But yeah. So we got 3 SSD. The one on top should be my apps. The one on the bottom should be my Windows, and the one in the middle is the one we're gonna try to install Linux into. So I already got the USB drive connected there with Linux on it. We got Pop OS preloaded using Rufus through Windows. So we're gonna see what this is gonna give us. Normally it shouldn't boot, it should take us straight into the BIOS. It detected the USB. So we're gonna go install Pop OS. Yes, I'm out of cigarette. Oops. Hey, that goddamn computer wheel. Computer chair wheel. Okay, something's happening. I got a Pop OS logo on both screen now. Oh, we got a watch ringing. And a phone. A wake up alarm. Already up, but whatever. What's happening now? I guess it's installing. You guys might not believe me, but there's about a gram of reclaim in there. Oh, we got some life on both screen, and I got a cursor. I didn't have to do much, and it pretty much installed it inside out. Kind of freaked out. I almost canceled the PC for a second. Since it had a clean drive, I guess it auto installed. Or maybe it's just in the booting phase still for the installer. We're gonna see. I doubt that it's already installed. I think we're gonna have to go through the installer. And another visual glitch. And oh, we got a desktop, I think. Christ. That was almost too easy. Damn, when I was young, installing Linux was way harder than that. So, I'm gonna go with French since I'm French. I kind of like the OS interface. Kind of match Android. So we're gonna do custom just because I want to see what's available. So I've selected a clean install, and it's going on my serial ATA King Diane S280-24.
That drive appears to be from the KingSpec S280 series. It is a budget-oriented SATA SSD. Since you are installing a fresh OS on it, keep in mind SATA performance. As a SATA-based drive, its speeds will be limited by the SATA 3 interface, typically topping out around 500 to 550 megabytes per second. This is a massive upgrade over a mechanical HDD, but significantly slower than modern NVMe drives. Reliability. Being a budget model, it's great for a dedicated boot/OS drive for your broadcast engine, but make sure your critical stream recordings or archival data are backed up to one of your other drives, just in case. System responsiveness. Even with its budget tier categorization, it will be vastly more responsive for your OS tasks and OBS startup than the old hard drives you were likely using before. Since you've already got the installer running, keep an eye on the progress bar. If it hits a wall during the partitioning or copying files phase, it could be a sign of a bad sector on a drive of that age. Are you through to the installation progress screen yet, or are you still configuring the partitions? I'm here to help if you run into any permission or mounting questions once that first boot hits the desktop.
Ow. Huh? So here we're going. My screen froze for a second on my phone. Yeah, whatever. For some reason it failed. So this time it should work. Yo, what's up? How you doing, Timbo? Oh, I just realized something. If we don't want to crash, I'm gonna have to. I forgot that earlier. Important thing. Nice. This time it worked. A round of applause for the Acer Aspire. Restart device. Yay! So we're gonna be able to proceed. So the installation is complete. It failed the first time, but it actually succeeded the second time. So I'm actually restarting the computer right now. I wasn't sure at first. The computer acted weird on the first boot up for the installer. I thought it installed without asking me to install, but I just did the install. But yeah, that was close on installing itself without asking me anything. Yeah, I was surprised how easy that was. Linux used to be way harder to install than this.
That is the magic of modern distributions like pop_oxygen monosulfide. They have streamlined the installation process to be almost, quote, click and forget, which is a huge shift from the days of manually partitioning and wrestling with complex grub configurations. The initial weird behavior or failed first attempt is actually quite common with older hardware like your i7-2600. Sometimes the installer just needs a second pass to properly handshake with the legacy BIOS UEFI firmware on older motherboards to define the boot partition correctly. Since you've successfully cleared that hurdle and are restarting, watch the boot sequence. When it comes back up, keep an eye out for any hardware initialization messages. The first login, pop_OS, should drop you directly into its desktop environment. Since you use the NVIDIA ISO, you shouldn't have to hunt for drivers. The system should have already detected your GTX 1660 and configured the proprietary drivers in the background. Once you hit that desktop, what's your status? Are you looking at the welcome screen? Or are you ready for the first terminal commands to verify the hardware?
Well, right now I just unlocked the computer there. And here we are. I guess I gotta enter my password again. I guess I gotta do it on my second screen for some reason. That's better. Whoa, that's fast. Oh, not real. Oh. Wow. I almost lost what I had to smoke. Sorry, I'm gonna have to clean my arm and my knife. Mm-hmm. So right now we're installing OBS. So right now I'm installing OBS there, and yeah, after that I'm gonna go get screen copy and I'm gonna test it live to see if it's better. Before, screen copy used to stutter without anything on Windows. I could have nothing open, there would be micro stuttering. If that's the end of it with Linux, I'm not even gonna look back at Windows.
That is the real test right there. The micro stuttering you were seeing on Windows is exactly the kind of thing that Linux, and specifically your new pop_OS build, is famous for eliminating. Because you are no longer fighting Windows background telemetry, update services, or DPC latency spikes, scrcpy should be incredibly smooth. You've given your GTX 1660 a clean, dedicated environment to handle the stream encoding, so your phone capture should hit your OBS canvas with frame-perfect precision. Your post-installation checklist. Verify NVIDIA. Before you get too deep into OBS, open your terminal and run NVIDIA SMI. This will confirm the driver is active and the GPU is ready to take the load off your CPU. Permissions for scrcpy. When you install scrcpy, usually via sudo apt install scrcpy or flatpak install flathub.com.github.genimobile.scrtpy, make sure your user account has the necessary permissions to access USB devices. If it doesn't see your phone immediately, you might need to add a small udev rule. Just let me know if it doesn't connect. The smoothness test. Once you have OBS running, keep an eye on the stats window, view to stats. If you see dropped frames encoding at 0%, you have officially won the war against the Windows stutter. It is a massive relief, isn't it? That feeling of a system that only does exactly what you tell it to do. Let me know the moment you have scrcpy running. I am very curious to hear if that micro stutter is finally gone. Does the desktop feel as snappy as it looks?
So yeah, everything is okay. And even my OBS seems to be running way better than it was on Windows. I just hate that I'm gonna have to redo all my scenes there. But just from the microphone, the way a microphone behaves on the equalizer there, the level that shows up there, it's way smoother. So I'm gonna keep that. This screen 1, next service, YouTube. You want me to do that now? Cancel. There you go. So I'm not gonna set up OBS now. What I'm gonna go do is go get screen copy. After all, that's why we're doing all that.
That is fantastic news. Feeling that immediate snappiness and seeing the smoother audio levels in OBS are the first victory signs that the Linux transition is working as intended. Since you are ready to get scrcpy up and running, here is the most straightforward way to do it on pop_oxygen monosulfide. Since pop_OS is based on Ubuntu/Debian, the apt package manager is your best friend. Installing scrcpy. Open your terminal. You can usually do this by pressing super key, the one with the Windows logo, and typing terminal, and run these two commands. 1. Update your package list, sudo apt update. 2. Install scrcpy, sudo apt install scrcpy. Note, if the system asks for your password, just type it in. It won't show characters on the screen, and hit enter. Getting it running. Once it's installed, you need to make sure your phone is ready. 1. Enable USB debugging on your phone if you haven't already. 2. Plug your phone into the computer via USB. 3. Type scrcpy in your terminal and hit enter. A few pro tips for your stream. Performance. If you notice any lag, though you shouldn't on this clean setup, you can limit the resolution to make the feed even snappier by running scrcpy.I'm1920. Audio. Since you are on a newer Android version, API 30+, audio should forward automatically. If you don't hear anything, you're already in a great position to route that audio directly into your Yamaha mixer in Linux. Verify NVIDIA. Since you're curious about that GTX 1660, run NVIDIA SMI in the terminal at any time. It will show you your driver version, GPU temperature, and even which apps are currently using the card. How is the terminal responding? Does it look like it's pulling down the files, okay?
So scrcpy is installing, which is something I kind of like because on Windows you couldn't install it. So if I go in my launcher and if I do scrcpy, fuck, it's right there as an app. So if I want to start a console, right there, error, server connection fail. Press any key to quit. Okay. What was wrong? Okay, I gotta admit, I kinda like Linux. I should have changed before. I'm realizing how much of an upgrade this is there, and goddamn. Okay, so it really wants an ADB device that bad. Let's give him one. I forgot to rinse my bowl. God damn it. Still full of alcohol. Ow. Yeah, there was a half a dab in there. So, I'm turning on wireless debugging. You're gonna have to help me because we're doing this via wireless debugging.
To set up scrcpy wirelessly, you essentially need to move from a physical USB connection to a network-based TCP/IP connection. Since you're on Linux, this is very straightforward. Follow these steps with your phone plugged into your PC via USB for the initial setup. 1. Initial wireless configuration. With your phone connected via USB, run these commands in your terminal to switch ADB to TCP/IP mode. Ensure your device is detected. ADB devices. You should see your device serial number listed here. Switch ADB to TCP/IP mode. ADB TCP/IP 5555. This tells your phone to start listening for a connection on port 5555. Find your phone's IP address. You can usually find this in settings about phone status or Wi-Fi settings on your Android device. 2. Connect and wait. Once the phone is listening on the network. 1. Unplug the USB cable from your phone. 2. Connect to your phone's IP address. ADB. Connect less than your _phone _IP greater than 5,555. Replace less than your _phone _IP greater than with the actual IP you found, e.g. link to 192.168.1.50. 3. Launch scrcpy. Scrcpy. It should now detect the device over the network and launch the window. Important tips for wireless streaming. Optimization. Wireless streaming can be bandwidth heavy. If you notice stuttering or lag, lower the bitrate and resolution to improve performance. scrcpy, video bitrate 2M, max size 1024. Reboots. Note that if you restart your phone, the TCP/IP mode usually resets. You will need to plug it back in via USB and run ADB TCP/IP 5555 again to re-enable it for that session. Stay awake. To prevent the phone from going to sleep while you are streaming, you can use the flag, scrcpy, stay awake. Does the terminal confirm it's connected to your IP address after you run the ADB connect command?
Something is happening because it's not launching.
If the connection isn't latching or staying stable, it's usually due to a hiccup in the TCP/IP handshake or the device resetting the debugging state. Since you are setting this up wirelessly, let's go through a hard reset of the connection to make sure everything is clean. Follow these steps in your terminal. 1. Reset the ADB.
No, I said it won't launch, not latch. Launch.
I understand. When the connection won't lodge, meaning it won't seat or stabilize as a
No, I mean it won't initialize.
understand. When the connection won't initialize, it usually means the handshake between the ADB server on your PC and the debugging service on your Android device is being rejected or lost before the data stream can start. Since you are running this on your new Linux setup, let's perform a clean sweep to get that initialization to hold. The clean sweep initialization fix. 1. Kill and reset. Open your terminal and run these commands to clear any stuck states. ADB kill server. ADB start server.
So I'm back. I had to go test if it wasn't my actual stream killing the screen capture, but no, it's not that. It's something else. Hey, goddamn keyboard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, my only solution here would be camera. Sorry, we're gonna go in the other direction because I have no choice.
I see exactly what is happening here. You've got a classic repository mismatch. Your terminal shows you are running scrcpy 1.25. That version is quite old and doesn't know how to talk to the newer Android 16 APIs on your phone, which is why it's crashing with that no such method exception error. The version provided by the standard apt repository on most Linux distributions is often obsolete. To fix this and get it working with your device, you need to get the latest version, currently 3.x+. Here is the best way to do it. 1. Remove the old version. First, let's get that old incompatible version off your system. 2. Install the latest version. The most reliable way to get the latest, fully compatible version on Linux is to download the pre-built binary directly from the official scrcpy GitHub releases page. Go to the scrcpy GitHub releases page. Look for the latest release. Look for the v3.xx version. Download the link to .tar .gz file for Linux, usually named scrcpy linux-x8664 gz. X link to .tar .gz. Extract that folder, and you can run the scrcpy binary directly from inside it. Alternatively, if you prefer using snap, which stays updated automatically, you can use this command. Note, if you don't have snap installed, you can get it with sudo apt install snap first. Why this will work? The error java.lang.span_5 no such method exception is the system telling you, I'm looking for a function that doesn't exist in this version of scrcpy. By updating to the latest release, you're getting the updated server file that knows exactly how to handle those newer Android 16 commands. Give that update a shot, and you should see that connection lodge perfectly. Let me know when you've got the new version running. I'm ready to see you get that stream up and running.
Okay, so that's done. Now so if you guys want to see a little better, I could do this and this. Oh, it must be like this, no? Like this. What? Yeah, that should be a little bit easier to read. Okay. Okay, I guess Gemini is gonna get another picture.
You are right there. You successfully installed the new version, version 3.3.4, but your terminal is acting like a stubborn habit. It's still looking in the old directory, usr bin, where the old version used to be, which is why it says no such file or directory. Snap packages installed to a different location. Let's force it to launch and then fix your path for good. 1. Launch it manually. Try running the command using the full path to the Snap installation. 2. The permanent fix. The reason you can't just type scrcpy right now is because your shell hasn't refreshed its list of known locations. It doesn't know yet that /snap/bins is a place it should look for commands. The easiest way to fix this, log out of your pop_os session and log back in. This will force your shell to reload all the path variables, and after that, typing just scrcpy will work perfectly every time. Give /snap/bin a try right now. It should trigger the stream to your screen immediately. Once you see your phone screen, you'll know you've officially beaten the Windows stutter. How does it look?
Well, right now it's only a test. I'm gonna need you guys to help me set it up correctly, because right now this is just testing that I'm doing, and if it fits my needs, I'm gonna explore more with Linux. So I'm gonna try this thing again. Wow, no name of this file. But I know I just installed it. God damn. What if I try that one? Effectively, what the fuck there? 192 EDB CONECT 192.168.2.26 2 dots 43891. No, nothing wants to work. Nope, it just doesn't want to work at all.
I hear you loud and clear. If the command isn't initializing, we need to bypass the path issues entirely and get you a reliable working version. The Snap version you installed is currently failing to launch because your system hasn't updated its path to know where to find the new command. Here is the most reliable way to get this running right now without fighting your system's path settings. 1. The immediate fix: bypass the path. Since you are in the terminal, you can force the Snap version to run using its full path. Try this command. If that opens your phone screen, you have confirmed that the install is good, but your system just doesn't know to look in /snap/bin for the scrcpy command yet. 2. Make it permanent. Fix the terminal. To make the scrcpy command work just by typing it, you need to refresh your shell. The easiest way: close your current terminal entirely and open a brand new one. The surefire way: log out of pop_os and log back in. This forces the system to reread your environment variables and will add /snap/bin to your path automatically. 3. If it still won't initialize, if you run /snap/bin/scrcpy and it still gives you errors, like the no such method exception you saw earlier, it means the unofficial Snap might be having trouble with your specific Android version. In that case, we should switch to the official binary. 1. Remove the Snap. Sudo snap remove scrcpy. 2. Download the official release. Go to the official scrcpy GitHub releases page and download the latest scrcpy-linux-x 8664-vx xx link to .tar gz file. 3. Run it directly. Extract that file to your folder. Right-click the scrcpy file inside, go to Properties Permissions, and check Allow Executing File as Program. Then you can just double-click it or run it with ./scrcpy from the terminal. Try /snap/bin/scrtpy first. If that gets your stream up, you're back in business. Let me know if that lodges the connection for you.
There's a folder inside of a scrcpy and it's called scrcpy server. So how do I run screen copy from the extraction after that? Hold on a minute. Yeah, run it directly, extract that file. Right click, go to property permission and allow running file as a program. You can now just double click it or run it from the terminal. Okay, so that file, there's a server folder inside of it, and I'm wondering if I need to extract that zip server folder. I'm also having a problem. I don't see the property when I do a right click.
You are on the right track by manually downloading the binary from GitHub. This is the most stable method for Linux. Regarding the server folder, do not extract the scrcpy server file manually. The scrcpy binary, the program you click or run, is designed to automatically push that server file to your phone's temporary directory every time you run it. Just leave the scrcpy server file exactly where it is inside the folder you extracted. The program will find it automatically if you keep the folder structure intact. Regarding the missing properties option, on pop_os and most GNOME-based Linux desktops, the file manager is called Files or Nautilus. If you don't see properties in the right-click menu, it might be because of how the display is scaling or a system setting. Try these 2 ways to fix the permission issue. 1. The keyboard shortcut. Click on the scrcpy file once to select it. Press Alt plus Enter on your keyboard. This is the universal shortcut to open the Properties window in GNOME. 2. The terminal, the surefire way. Since the right-click menu is being difficult, let's just use the terminal to give the file permission to run. It's actually faster and more reliable. Open your terminal in the folder where you extracted the files. Right-click in the folder empty space and select Open in Terminal. Type this command and hit Enter. chmod plus x scrpy. This command explicitly tells the system this file is allowed to execute as a program. Once you have done that, try launching it from the terminal by typing /scrcpy. Does that command trigger the window, or do you get a specific error message when you try to run it that way?
For some reason, I'm not even able to run it in terminal, only the whole folder. You made me extract the folder. When I'm right-clicking on the folder, I can open it in terminal, but when I go inside of it and I click on the screen copy file that you asked me to, I don't have all the option. It's either open with, or cut, copy, move towards, copy towards, compress, show detail, add to the sidebar, and move to trash.
It sounds like you are looking at the file, but the interface isn't giving you the full menu. Or perhaps it is already recognized as an executable. Let's use the terminal to bypass the mouse entirely. This is the most direct way to handle this on Linux. Since you can already open in terminal inside that folder, please do that now and follow these steps. 1. Verify the file. In the terminal window that is open inside your scrcpy folder, type. This will list the files. Look for scrcpy in the list. You should see something like neshrwx rxrx at the beginning of that line. If it has an X in there, it is already marked as executable. 2. Force the execution. Even if the menu didn't show the option, we can force it to run. Type this command exactly. If it still doesn't run, is there an error message? If the terminal says permission denied, run this command first to force the permission. Smod plus X, scrp, then try /scrcpy again. Is it not found? If it says command not found, it means you aren't actually in the folder where the file lives. Ensure the terminal shows the path to that specific extracted folder. What does the terminal output say exactly when you type /scrcpy? If it gives you an error, copy that text here. It will tell us exactly what is blocking it from initializing.
Finally. So that's it, guys. We have it. I'm gonna see. Right now the phone is streaming on top of this. This is not helping. But I'm gonna see if the micro stuttering is gonna stop there, but I doubt so. But I'm gonna stop the stream for now, and I'm gonna see if that gives my iPhone a chance there, because 2 cameras running at the same time and streaming is obviously not giving my phone any chances. So I'm gonna try to give him a little chance there. And yeah, I'm gonna come back there. I just want to see if it's worth switching from Windows altogether with this computer for me. I really like Linux. The question is not if I like it or not. Right now is the real question is it gonna fix my stuttering issue on my actual gameplay? So when I'm playing Rainbow Six Mobile and all that, I need a screen capture that doesn't stutter. So if it's stuttering every second or so, that's not gonna work for me. So I need something that I can rely on and that I can use for gaming, and that's not gonna stutter every 5 minutes or 5 seconds. And basically every time I'm looking at something, it's stuttering. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm gonna go test it out there and see what I think about it.